Mayuresh Joshi is also with us. Mayuresh, the other stock we were just discussing with our technical experts, Biocon, that's the other big mover of the day. Is the best case upside already priced in now with such a big 13% move on trastuzumab, or is it still worthwhile to buy the stock now?
Afternoon, Surbi. So yes, I think it's been a worthwhile move for the stock. But in terms of the earnings growth, I think FY19, FY20 is going to be an inflection point for Biocon, because a lot of biosimilars that we are talking about, whether it's trastuzumab, whether you're talking about pegfilgrastim, adalimumab, which probably comes into account from FY23, I think a large component of those earnings growth will start getting built from 19 onwards. What also happens with its Glargine launch, which has received approval from the US market, is going to be a significant revenue driver for the company from 19. So large element of what you probably seen incorporates what can probably happen in the 19. But a strong earnings growth is not ruled out, because all these drugs are blockbuster drugs. Trastuzumab itself, the global size is almost $6 billion odd. You're talking about pegfilgrastim, which has a US sales of almost around $4 billion odd. Glargine is close to around $3.5 billion. And add to that, I think if you're looking at the kind of price erosion that is seen in the small molecule business, improvement is seen there of Copaxone can see significant improvement FY18 fourth quarter. So a large element of earnings growth will start coming through. Is there a large portion of depreciation and tax expenses on the Malaysian facility? Absolutely yes. Is the management looking at $1 billion in terms of revenues for FY19? The management is sticking to that. Is there a capex plan of $200 million on its MAB facility in Bangalore, which also requires pre-regulatory approvals which can come through over the next few quarters? So I think there is a strong case for earnings momentum to actually pick up FY19. So from a short-term perspective, maybe it's priced perfectly, EPS of around 12 odd rupees for FY19. But a large element as it starts coming through, I think the bottom line growth can be humongous.
Okay.
Research services are doing well, Syngene is contributing, so remain positive.
Welcome back. So still around the flat line, now slightly in positive territory, but you can't call it too positive really, just ambling around that zone there. That's the Nifty for you. Mayuresh, so we've been pouring over obviously the auto sales data for November throughout, now that we've heard from all the companies. Anything that stood out for you where you would still initiate, let's say, a buy?
So I think interesting set of numbers, Surbi, and Ashok Leyland probably just stood out for me. And our research as well, in terms of the growth that you probably see obviously on a low base. Both the MHCV and the LCV segment performed exceedingly well. And if you look at the kind of initiatives that the government is taking, obviously a well-known fact, but beyond being a pure CV player, my own sense is that you can expect to see tremendous volume growth going ahead as well. In terms of earnings, my own sense again is that you will see strong earnings momentum catch up over the next few quarters, and that should get reflected in the year earnings as well. So any significant decline, I think, on Ashok Leyland, in my opinion, becomes very good buying opportunity. We remain extremely optimistic on this stock over the next 2 years.
Okay, we have Neeraj Diwan also now joining us.